Mum's the word. The Edinburgh Society of Unapologetically Imperfect Mothers is here to brighten your day and lift your spirits with our unique take on all things motherhood. We're real-life friends, a special group comprised of women from across the globe who've chosen to call Edinburgh home. Together, we're a haphazard amalgamation of diverse perspectives and life experiences united as we try to navigate the often tumultuous journey through motherland with humor, unwavering support, and lots of fizz. Our mantra is radical acceptance and the necessity to check your ego and self-interest at the door. Keep calm and hold my Prosecco, ladies. I hereby call this meeting to order.
For a really special edition of the Edinburgh Society of Unapologetically Imperfect Mothers podcast. We have a highlight on local businesses. It's Lissy
and Heather, and
we're joined by Kirstie from the Mum Club Edinburgh.
Brilliant!
Hi there! Thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have you here. Welcome to our little podcast bubble.
Welcome.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've done anything like this, so exciting, very new. So yeah, let's bear with me.
I promise
it's going to be great. Yeah, we don't bite. We do talk a lot, but we don't bite.
Yeah, exactly. We're good. And welcome. Tell us a little bit about the Mum Club.
Yeah, so I'm Kirstie. I'm the host and franchise owner of the Mum Club Edinburgh. So the Mum Club is part of a growing nationwide franchise. It's started up in 2016 by two fabulous ladies who are also mums, Lauren and Jess, our co-founders. And the Mum Club was born through the mutual frustration of... there's so many baby-led classes that absolutely have a place for baby's development and socialisation, but actually what is there that puts mum first? So, they set about creating this. They initially started hosting events themselves, and then that started to grow and grow, and they thought there's definitely an opportunity to other mums across the country to benefit from this supportive community. So, they started it up. There's now 70 plus and growing franchises in the UK.
Incredible.
And one in Dubai. So that's the international one they've got. And of course now one here in Edinburgh, which is great.
Amazing.
And it's just a fantastic, supportive community for wherever you are in motherhood. So it could be expecting, new mums, toddler mums, all sorts. So yeah.
Love.
I'm so jealous. I'm sorry. I'm so jealous. We had a podcast. We were talking about how when we first had kids and babies, you just felt so unsupported, and you didn't have that group that you could go to. So you just felt really, I felt extremely isolated.
Yeah, it's a feeling, 100%. Because your world just becomes so small, certainly in that early stages, and actually having that outlet to go and meet other women who just really get it and they're in that same boat as you. And it's important. You need it. You absolutely do need it.
100%. And I remember the one thing that I wasn't prepared for, that I don't think anybody really talks about, is when you're pregnant, it's all about you. And everybody asks you about how you're feeling and what's going on and what are you doing, and everything is, the attention is on you. Mm-hmm. And then you have the baby and nobody talks to you. They talk to you, but they're talking to the baby.
That's true.
And a lot of time they ask, it's about the baby, how they're doing, the weight, the feeding, and it's actually like, but how am I doing?
Exactly.
And that's
especially
what we are
when you
about.
spend all your time thinking about the baby too.
Yeah. Exactly. Actually, we're mum, but we are all, Kirstie, Lizzie, Heather, out with being mum, and that's important to remember that, and that's what our events are about. Come along, have that outlet, but actually you don't need to talk about baby. Naturally you might, because we're all in that phase, or child or toddler, whatever it might be, but actually talk about your interests. What was that Netflix series you're loving, you're obsessed with? Like, that's what we're about. Like, we're all human, we've all got our own careers, we've got things that we've done in our life that we want to share with others, and So that's really what we're all about.
I feel like this is like a sister soul here.
I couldn't agree more.
No, I mean, because completely. I mean, I think that you really lose yourself when you have a kid. I mean, it's normal, right? You're going to be in the throes and you're focusing and your energy and everything is going here. But then, is there a respite for you? Is there a place where you can go and have a chat with some other moms just about how tired you are?
Exactly.
And no judgment. That's what we're about. We're very supportive, non-judgmental.
And no judgment.
Space. So literally, turn up as you are and don't feel like you can feed your baby how you wish. You can engage with sleep coach or not, whatever you might feel is right. That's not what we're about. It's about like come in and having people there that understand and actually just sometimes say, me too. And actually there's a lot of having validation and reassurance from other people sometimes actually is what you need. Like I find that too, of just having other people like, I've been there, or actually we're going through that too. And it sounds horrible because you feel for them because you know exactly how they feel, but actually knowing that you're not the only one is something that you just need to hear.
You absolutely need to hear it. And no matter how old your kids are, you need that.
I can imagine.
100%.
Because as we said earlier, it doesn't get easier, it just changes.
It just changes.
Right.
I mean, there is so much head nodding from Heather and I right now. It's like we're the three of us are little
nodding dog in the car.
Because, oh my God, it's like group therapy in here. I feel like this is, this 100%. Because I think, we do need that community and that network. And Kirstie, how do you think, how important is that, new community and that, kind of network of women? How important is that for new mums in particular?
Yeah, I would say it is everything. It is needed. Your friendship has inevitably changed. Like motherhood changes you no matter what. You can't really control that, but friendship changes. What your friendships have been potentially, late nights, going and kind of doing what you want when you want to. We laugh, like a group of our friends laugh. It's now becomes more like I'm sending you a voice note while I'm unpacking the dishwasher and just catching up. Or we do catch up with the kids, but we're having a cold coffee and we don't actually sit down and finish a conversation. So your friendship, it completely changes into that. And I think it's important that you have that network and you have the outlet to be able to just, as we said earlier, exhale and have that sort of non-judgmental support network where they're not judging you for how you maybe look that day, how messy your house is, how you might have the same outfit on the third day in a row because it's got stains of baby sick in those early days, or it's got stains of food that your toddler's been throwing about. They're the people you want to be around. You want to have that network, and it can be very isolating, especially in the early days. That was my experience. So having that, it's important that you have that because you need, for your own mental health and well-being, you just need that outlet. You can have a fantastic partner and you can have family around you, but it is different. You do just need that kind of friendship model as well.
Well, you're under so much pressure, as a mom, especially as a new mom. I mean, forever, but you're under that
forever,
pressure.
You're under that pressure.
You're under that pressure, and if you don't have any, circle of friends, mom friends that you can reach out to just to say, how you doing today? What happened? Why don't you just tell me? Yeah. I mean, I didn't. And I think that, it is something that it would have helped so much. You're
almost on just survival mode then when you feel like you've not got that outlet. Yep. And if you're negotiating those naps or you're up at 3 a.m. in the feeds and you're like, who's about, having that and, that emotional roller coasters that we go through, hormones are hugely at play at that, but actually having somebody that understands that, our partners, our husbands really do try, but they don't have the same mental load, the hormones, everything's at play. So having somebody who generally is just like, I get this,
right,
absolutely,
is sometimes all you just need. And sometimes you need a really good rant.
Oh my God, yes. That is one of my questions I was going to ask you, is that, when you're going through the motions, and of course you love your baby, of course you love your son or your daughter or your twins or triplets, whatever the situation is, but, that guilt that can come with needing to vent and needing that space to complain, because am I allowed to complain? Am I allowed to complain because I'm exhausted and because, my baby just threw up all over my favorite silk top? Like, am I allowed to moan? And I think that we need to talk about that as well when we're together.
Yeah, we do. We need to husband bash occasionally. If there is something that's annoying you, need to get it off your chest. It's better that than taking it home. And I think we all get a bit hyped up about, like, you feel guilty. I mean, mum guilt's a thing, but you feel guilty that you love your baby, your children endlessly, but actually feeling like frustrated and absolutely exhausted, like, can coexist, and that is okay to feel like that. Like, I don't know how many times I have, like, said internally to myself and to the universe, like, I am so grateful to be a mum, but I am absolutely shattered,
exhausted,
like,
yeah.
And you think, oh, I can't really be saying these things because people might feel like I'm ungrateful for what I've got, and that's not the case. And I guess that's what communities like the Mum Club are about. It's a safe space.
You can go and tell them that.
And like, you can speak like that, and nobody is really judging it, and you're just, you feel like you can have those conversations. And
I love that you've got this, community of women that can come together and there is no judgment, because I think the way things have changed and evolved around the expectations of motherhood and how you raise children have changed so much. I know that the difference between when my son was born, 13 years ago to when Amy was born, and that whole idea of, no, this is your checklist. 13 years ago, we were literally told there's a checklist and your baby's going to sleep in a bassinet for this number of weeks. And they're going to want to be in your room for this number of weeks. And then they're going to want to go to their room at 6 months. And then they're going to want to, everything was like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be doing it this way, but I'm not doing it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was made to feel so awful because I was putting breast milk in a bottle, because he literally ripped me to shreds. So I was pumping and he was getting breast milk, but it was in a bottle. And then I went to one of these things and I was told, no, that's not how you do it. You're not giving your baby the best. And I literally left crying.
Yeah, it's all that judgment. It's all judgy. That. And it's interesting how when you do get a circle of moms where you feel safe, you do feel free to just have a chat and not expect that instant sort of judgment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to tell you how I did it, or like, this is what I've read about this thing. And so
when your baby's not doing that right because you did this wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I say, like, that can sometimes, women can sometimes be the worst for that in some spaces. But what I think the Mum Club stands for, and what definitely a thing for me to build here in Edinburgh, is if that kind of is your approach and how you view it, then maybe that isn't the space then for you, like our space isn't for you, because everyone approaches things differently, but that is not what we can invite, and that's not what we kind of tolerate or want at our events. And it's never been a thing really in the communities. I think if you're choosing to come to something like that, then you've got that mindset. You're quite an open person, looking for connection, looking to have a bit of a community. So.
I love that. And in terms of we as women, how can we support each other? So if we're coming along to these events and we're meeting new people, how can we support each other? Because we're literally going through, this is one of the hardest jobs that you're going to have, and it's not over in 6 months or 6 years
never
or
over.
16 years. This is something we've signed up for.
I'm 36
forever.
and my mum still says that.
It's never over.
Exactly. My mom says the same. So how can we support each other, I suppose, is my question for you.
I would say support can be quite simple, but it can also be very powerful. Really it is having that sort of, sometimes me too, sort of, just again what we spoke about earlier, that hearing somebody else going through that same thing actually gives you a bit of validation. Not always going at it with like quick fixes. Like some people don't always want to just hear your opinion. They actually just want you to sit and listen.
Yeah.
And yeah, like sit and listen to what you've got to say and don't give any judgment. And I've actually learnt this through becoming a mum. Sometimes is now like saying to a friend or a fellow woman, like, do you want my opinion or would you rather I just sort of listen? Because not every time, you know, sometimes as they say, you just want to rant, you want to just go off on one about your husband for 5 minutes, and that's okay, but you don't really want any opinion back. You just want to be heard.
100%.
I would say this is probably more relevant to kind of the earlier stages, but celebrating those small wins. So celebrate with other mums. You know, it is a big deal in the early days that you went in the shower and you washed your hair and the baby didn't kick off, and like celebrate that. Like, shout from the rooftops, do a voice note, say like, guess what, girls, you know, that's
going to the loo by yourself.
It's important. You know, it sounds daft, but it really is.
It's not daft,
like,
it's serious.
It's not. And you know what? I hid grated carrot in the spag bowl and they ate it. They ate it.
100%. 100%. I think that is really important. And like, you know, celebrate those things. I would say, you know, do signpost them or help them with, say, resources or things that maybe you've come across if they are struggling with something, feeding. And, you know, don't be pushy with that, but if they are open, it could be kids are about to start school and what's that sort of, the anxieties you're feeling about that. Like, share resources you've come, share podcasts you've listened to, whatever it might be, if they're open to that and like kind of like looking for that. But the biggest one for me would be like create inclusive spaces.
Love that.
So like we do that here at the Mum Club, but if you have just met a mum at like the school gates, or it could be a baby class, and actually invite them along. You know, you might already have a group or a semi-formed group that you're going for coffee. Like, there's nothing wrong to say, why don't you come and join us? Come with little one and meet. Because we are all on this wild ride of motherhood, and I think we all need that help, support, and just sometimes a bit of guidance. And I think it's important that we're all there for each other. And, you know, if it is somebody you've kind of taken to and you think, well, come along. So I think the biggest one there, wherever you are, I think whatever age your children is creating inclusive support spaces.
So our podcast is all about, basically we all come from different backgrounds, different experiences, and yet we're all really close and really good friends, and we see each other all the time. We get together for coffee, we get together for, you know, podcasts, for outings.
We work out together.
Great.
But what's great is that it does feel very non-judgmental, and people have a different perspective on something, so that when you come with an issue, you get sort of a different perspective. It could help you, you know, oh, well, maybe, you know, I need to rethink this. And it really is about creating that inclusive sort of accepting space where someone is allowed to have a different opinion about something. But you're not gonna, you know, crush someone if you have a different opinion. So it's so interesting how you're building that with mums, especially when they're, you know, new parent, new mom, and then, you know, they're gonna have this throughout their life. You know, for us, I would say the support is, you know, definitely the chat, you know, you know, just venting, having a chat, so, you know, pick up, drop off, big thing.
Oh my word, the number of times that WhatsApp group has saved my life, because it's like, I'm stuck in traffic and someone grab.
Totally.
Yeah. But it's wonderful. It's just so irreplaceable to have that group of moms.
Yeah.
I agree. And I love your piece of advice, Kirstie, about bringing someone along and inviting them in. Yep. I think that's huge, because I know, you know, how hard it is. And because some women are shy, some women are really, you know, worried about coming to new events where there's going to be a lot of people. And
people they don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. And it can feel quite scary. So I love the idea of bringing someone along and inviting them along, because that gives them a friendly face that they already know, and it takes away that kind of initial anxiety, I would think.
Yeah.
And I just think that's great. I love that idea of bringing them along.
Yeah. And imagine, you know, you're going to make all these moms, you could have the potential for so many new moms to help you.
Oh my gosh,
and friendships that form from that.
Yeah.
You know, I've had some friends that I've met, even pre-kids, but it's been from, you know, a friendship you've had with two individuals, and actually now they have. So you're all still friends, but they do their own things and they're friends, and then their kids are friends, and why not?
Absolutely.
You know? I think fabulous.
You don't need to just have silo of things. It is all about kind of community.
It's actually very Edinburgh, isn't it?
Yeah.
very community.
So.
And
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the kids become friends because we're friends and we're hanging out.
Yeah.
And then the children start to hang out together and then they become friends. And I just love that kind of exponential quality.
Love that.
Although, to that point you were saying that, we were with the girls, it was a group of us, and we've all kind of had children around about the same age, so it's quite nice. I think the youngest is, youngest is 6 weeks, but sort of 6 weeks right up to about the age of 5. But we were saying about this, like, we're all close, and now all our partners are close and friends, but we were saying it's so lovely to see them all now, how they actually all play, and they get on so well, and it's lovely. But there might come a phase where, girls don't want to play with the boys, and things change. But we're like, well, they're just going to have to get on with it because they will be friends. And not that you want to be forceful, but we're like, well, I'll just have to be. Like, you will be friends. We call them the mini amigos, and we're like, you guys we'll just continue to be friends.
100%.
Yeah, you can make it happen.
Like,
Definitely. And then when they get to be 13, you can do what I did with my eldest and his little friend is we recreated the photo that we have of them when they were really teeny tiny babies with them at 13.
That's so cute.
And the looks
I
on
can
their
imagine.
faces.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why are you doing this
Why are
to
you
me?
doing this to me?
Why are you
It's
putting
good for
me
you.
through this?
Shush.
Yeah. Remember, you were friends when you're younger, and you're going to grow together. Yeah. I know.
And they are still friends.
Well,
And
that's good.
Whenever they see each other, I mean, we've moved because we're not in London anymore, but they pick up right where they left off
That's so
every
fun.
time. And it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
cute.
important. Good.
So it is quite nice. And I love that idea of, bringing the partners in as well. I think that's great. Aw, Kirstie, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you. I guess, thank you for having me. I think, the moral of all of this really is friendship and motherhood isn't a bonus. I would say it's essential. And like you guys who are, you've got kids now in primary school, maybe going off to high school soon, is the friendships that you make during motherhood really can and will or could last beyond the kids when they've grown up and done their own thing. So I just think, like, nourish those friendships, nourish those relationships, go on the journey together with each other, support each other, and
Oh, that's
I love
brilliant.
that.
so
Aw, fantastic. Thank you to Kirstie and thank you to the Mum Club.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to the Edinburgh Society of Unapologetically Imperfect Mothers, real-life friends from across the globe who have chosen to call Edinburgh home. Together, we're a haphazard amalgamation of diverse perspectives and life experiences, united as we try to navigate the often tumultuous journey through motherland with humor, unwavering support, and lots of fizz. Keep calm and join us on our next podcast. And until then, Mum's the word.